Aji R here, author of the best-selling book, The Purpose-Driven Career. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things you need to consider before you shut the door. Now, the door I'm talking about is the door or your current employer. So if you're in a role right now and you say, you know what, I'm sick and tired, I want to get out. Before you do that, consider these 5 things. And maybe you're not even in a role, you just want to, or maybe you're in a role, you just want to, or you're not even in a role, you want to change your career entirely, okay? You want to move from one industry to another. You need to consider these 5 things as well. Okay, so now, why do you need to consider these 5 things? You ask. I love asking questions. Now, 2 major reasons why I feel you need to consider these 5 things are: 1, many reasons why people leave their job are found that are based on emotional reasons. Now, emotional reasons are not really factual, okay? Because emotional reasons, say for instance, my manager has been mean to me, okay? I've come across a lot of managers that are bad today, they can actually be good tomorrow. You know, so you can work on this relationship and have a good relationship, and it's just gonna be ever happily after. It's like marriage, okay? The worst man can actually be the best man tomorrow. So make sure the real reasons you want to leave the organization are factual. They are really genuine reasons. And factual in the sense that maybe when you start looking at about your values, okay, but when things are maybe more emotional, my colleagues looks at me somehow, or there are certain things you need to work on in terms of personality. I talked a lot about that in my book, The Purpose-Driven Career. I talked about different personalities, you know, so you need to know what your personality is and also that of your colleagues. The second reason why I feel you need to consider these 5 things is the fact that I believe job searching or career changing or career planning needs to be intentional and it needs to be strategic. Intentional in the sense that you need to work for who you want to work for. You need to carefully choose who you want to work for, not just because people are going here, I'm going there. People are working there, I must well work there. No, it has to be intentional. It has to be really what you want, okay? What you desire, what you really want, okay? And strategic in the sense that it requires careful concentration and planning. And that is where career development plan comes into place. I talked about that in my book, and I also have a template which will do a video. That's why you need to stay tuned. Every Tuesday I share tips and examples to help you enjoy your career every day, wherever you work or how much you earn. That's what this video is all about, okay? So it needs to be strategic and you need to be intentional. 2 reasons I mentioned is the fact that you want to make sure the reasons are genuine so that you don't transfer or just transport the same problem to another organization, okay? 5 reasons, 5 things you need to consider before you shut the door on your current employer. And like I mentioned earlier on, job searching, career planning has to be strategic. So the first thing you need to consider, number 1, is this. 1, who do you want to work for? You need to really think deep. Who do you want to work for? I'm talking about which organization you want to work for. Do you want to work with Barclays, or if you want to work in the finance sector? And do you want to work with a bank? Do you want to work in an investment company? I mean, you need to decide. You need to carefully, that's what intentional and strategic, you need to really decide who do you want to work for, okay? So maybe you want to change your career entirely, your industry entirely. You need to really clearly define the who you want to work for. And at the same time, under the who, you need to think about who do you want in your life right now? Who do I need in my life right now to help me, okay? Who do I need? And I talked about this also in my book in terms of your community and your support network. It is not so much about what you know, it's about who you know at the same time. It's good for you to have all the degrees, all the skills, but really, when you don't have people who can actually help you to fast track your career, sometimes it can just be so frustrating, really, trust me. So you need to consider who you want to work for and who do you need in your life right now. One of the tips I want to mention is that look at your support network, look at your phone, look at your contacts on LinkedIn. Maybe you don't have the who. This is the time for you to begin to befriend them, to begin to make friends with them on LinkedIn. Begin to ask questions. If you don't have contact, someone, if they have such people in their network, has to be introduced. Really, you need to consider that. The second thing you need to consider is why you want to work for them. Why do you want to work for the organization? And why do you need that person in your life? Okay, so that's one thing, so that you don't transition or you don't transport the same problem you're currently having into the next organization or into the next role, because you need to carefully think, why do I really want? By the time you drill down the why, you might just realize that, you know what I'm looking for there is actually here. All I need to do is to look around different departments. You might not necessarily need to even move organization. You might actually need to move departments. Maybe the role is there. So you need to drill down to say why. Most often times, when people change jobs from one job to another, the reason why they keep having so much problems is because they've never really sat down to actually consider these 5 things. So why do you want to work for the organization, and why do you need this person in your life? And I'm not concerned about why you need a person, in the sense that you might actually need a coach. You might need to hire a coach, or you might need to get a mentor. So you need to know who are the people you need in your life, why you need them in your life. And once you clarify the why you need them, maybe this is a new relationship. It can actually help you to send a proper email to articulate why you need them. You see what I mean? Good. We're getting somewhere. Number 3. The 3 things, the third thing you need to consider is very crucial. I say, what? What are you bringing to the table? What value are you bringing? All right? And what value are you bringing into the organization? Look, this is your unique selling point. What is it that you know that is so fantastic about you that you need to articulate on your CV, and it needs to pop up on your cover letter? What is your unique selling point? What makes you think? What is it about? What is that thing about you? Like, you know what? It will help an organization solve their problem. Okay? So you need to really consider that. You need to think about it. That what skills have I acquired in this last 5 years? What are the projects have I done? You need to really flesh out. What are the things that I'm bringing into the table? And the same thing goes if you're having a relationship with someone in terms of who you need in your life. Relationships has to be symbiotic, okay? So you need to carefully consider, what are the things that you're going to do? Maybe someone wants to mentor you into a role. You need to think about what are the things that you need to, you're bringing into the table that the other person can benefit. Okay, it's not just give. Life is about give and take. Okay? Now, the 4th thing you need to consider when you are changing your career or when you're changing role is when. When do you need this to change? When do you need to move? When do you need to resign? Most of the time, I have seen several times people out of anger, they just pick their bag and walk out. Anger management is there, okay? A lot of people, I have some friends, colleagues, sometimes ago, we just had, she was there, lunchtime, she just walked out, okay? And you need to think about you, not just you, but about your family member. If you are the breadwinner, if you're a single mom and you have a child to look after, so that's where your emotions have to be put in place, okay? You need to check your emotions. So when do you want to move? When do you? So it has to be carefully planned. That's why I mentioned career planning has to be intentional and it has to be strategic, okay? When do I need this job? When do I plan to move? Maybe you need to speak to your manager. Maybe you have a very good relationship with your manager and you're actually eyeing some positions in other departments. Of course, you can talk to your manager about it to say, you know what, Margaret or Marvin or James, whatever the name is, I would like to move into this role at a certain time. It will also help the organization to begin to plan to fill in your position as well, maybe to bring in someone that's coming or something. If you have a good relationship with your manager, which I feel you should, this is the time for you to begin to have that conversation so they can be planned. Or she can actually mentor you. I recently had a conversation with someone and she was telling me that her manager will be mentoring her into a more senior role. I think it's a very good news, and it's fantastic if your line manager can actually mentor you into a more senior role. So this is the time you need to talk about when. And if maybe you want to hire a coach, you need to really know when. You need to really plan it so that you may be able to save towards it. I mean, good coach, they don't come cheap, So you need to consider paying for someone to coach you. Maybe there are certain skills you need to firm up, or you need to work on your pitch or whatever, self-confidence, interviewing skills. Maybe you need to work with a mentor. Maybe it's not a free mentor, or maybe you need to pay for a mentor. So you need to consider when you need a person in your life. So you might need to adjust your budget. Number 5, which is the critical part in the sense that you need to consider how. When I mean how long and how much. Okay? How long do you want to work for this organization for? That is why you need to have a career development plan, in the sense that it's no job for life. Okay? So don't expect to move from one job and you'll be there forever. No. Okay? Sometimes you might be there forever, because I mean, I've heard stories of people that started as a receptionist and rose to the level of a chief exec, which is fine. But really, when you have a vision and you know where you want to be in 10 years or so, or 5 years, there's no point. You need to put that in your career development plan. Now, you need to be flexible. I don't feel that you just need to be rigid. I'm here for 2 years. When you do 2 years back, pick up your bag. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you need to really carefully think to say, you know what? I want to work for this organization for 2 years. I've heard that before. People tell me, I just want to work for this organization for 18 months because it looks good on my career outlook. So if you fall into that category, you need to really consider how long. And the crucial part is how much. Now, there's no point in leaving where you are in a hurry to get a job that cannot even pay your bills. You need to check your outgoings. If you don't have it already, you need to have a spreadsheet that shows how much are your outgoings every month. So that means whatever you're going to take has to be able to foot the bill. A lot of people are actually unhappy with their job because they're in debt constantly every month. Before the month ends, they're already borrowing money everywhere. There's no point. So you need to be carefully, need to actually look. Say, you know what, my outgoings, I spend £4,000 every month. That means you have to get a job that pays you more than £4,000. Now, your job, maybe you might need to check how much. Are you spending too much? Maybe you need to downsize. You need to check your loan. You need to say, maybe it's not even the right time to actually look for a new job this time around, because you have a lot going on in your life. The more reason why you need to consider these 5 things, so that you can begin to plan, okay? So that you don't just leave your job, and by the time you leave your job, you just start regretting it. So these are my 5 reasons, 5 things you need to consider before you change your career, before you shut the door on your current employer. I'm going to recap that again. You need to consider who you want to work for and who you need in your life. Why you want to work for the person, and for the organization, and why you need a person. What are you bringing into the table that is your unique selling point? And when do you want to work for this organization, and when you need a person. And the last point to consider is how long and how much you want to earn. I hope this video has been actually beneficial to you, and I do hope you enjoyed it. It's for it to be beneficial to you. Until next week, I post video every Tuesday. My name is Aji R, and say thank you for watching.